Yo, what's good? This is Burton Burger, episode 131.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, baby. This is
131.
Bert, and that's Burger. Yeah, got some good stuff for you guys this week.
I'm excited to hear it.
Yep. I know I'm giggling, and you're like, come on, Bert, come on, I want to record the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And, so on my way, so we just had like a family birthday party, of which we've had, or I guess get together. We've had so fucking many so far this week, let alone, I guess.
It's usually what happens when multiple people in your family die around the same time.
True. That, and then other people's fucking birthdays. There's just so much shit going on. A lot of fun. And, yeah, so it was a birthday we just got done at, and on my way home, I get another fucking dude. I've been getting all these random texts from strangers like, oh my gosh, is this Alex? I've been looking for you for so long. And whatever. So it's just gay texts like this. And I've been responding to them. Oh, yeah, like I showed you at the party when you were there. They're like, what did they say? They said, hello, exclamation point.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah,
my
the
phone
porn
has
bots.
like recommended, it recommended, yay, exclamation point with confetti. So I sent that to him.
Okay.
And I've just got this little thing here if you want me to go through it real quick.
Go ahead.
And I had fun with it. It might be cringe, I don't know, but so we get past it, whatever. Yay, confetti. And they says, I'm Aurora. Are you Alex? Do you miss me? ? I says, yes. Alex misses his Aurora very much. And they says, are you Alex? ? I said, the one and only. And at about this point, I'm like, okay, if this is like a real person on the other side and they're actually looking for their Alex, I feel kind of bad. This is like on some catfish shit. But then obviously I get some things that let me know that this is not real.
Sure.
They say, so Aurora tells me, great to see you again. Where did you live and what job did you do after leaving L.A.? And I says, I moved to the Brazilian highlands and started selling human shit on the internet.
Okay.
And she
Not too
says,
far off from the truth, I see.
yeah, I've been watching Survivor, and I think that's where they were at this year. And Aurora asks me, so you sell human excrement on the internet. Why are you so dirty?
See, that's interesting that they actually responded.
You know, I'm
Usually,
concerned.
I'll be like, pull up to grandma's, we're playing wiffle ball, and they're like, oh, I just want to get these panties off.
Yeah. So now I'm kind of concerned again. Like, oh shit, this might be a real person. But then but the last bot, I told them, like, oh, what's your name, sir? I'm like, my name is Michelangelo Ferdinand. And they're like, oh, yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So no, she's like, why are you so dirty? And I said, it's my kink. I enter, gets me hard.
Once again, he's not far from the truth, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. And I think I broke the robot. The last thing it sent me 3 minutes ago was, yes. That's it. I think, so now we're up to date. You
They
want some?
understand.
You
So-
want some?
Is that what you're getting ready to ask?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
you should
cut
just
you
text them, be like, yeah, so you interested in
Deal.
buying some human fecal
Yeah.
matter?
Yeah. So let's cut to the chase. You want some shit? Yeah.
Stop toying with daddy's feelings. You want
Yeah.
some shit?
Yeah. Should I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Stop toying with daddy. Okay. I don't like this. This is dirty.
Gets me hard.
Yeah.
It really do be like that, though, sometime.
Yeah. So I says, so are you interested, question mark? Don't tease your daddy now. Exclamation point or no exclamation point?
Yeah, do like an angry emoji. Like angry face.
Yeah, the evil face.
Yeah.
Fucking
The
devil horns.
smiling, yeah. Or devil frowning. Don't tease your daddy now.
See now, what if this is like a fucking professor or something? That's just what's running through my head. Like,
Then
what if
it's a
this is
fucking
something-
professor. Fuck him.
Okay, I sent it. Well, we'll see. We'll let that one simmer on the back burner.
Okay, well, keep us updated.
Yeah. So that was this is a new hobby of mine.
Bert likes to play with 2-year-olds, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're perfectly of age.
Yeah. You've always been a little bit weird with people in their age, I've noticed.
What?
Yeah.
No. Maybe
You're
as
like-
a joke.
You really, really want a bunch of 13-year-olds in our Discord for some reason.
No. That was never said.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean 13-year-old? Oh, not like I want the 13-year-olds, but just 13-year-olds in general in.
Yeah, you're like, I want 13-year-olds in my Discord.
You thought about the last word. Yeah.
My mouth.
I just think it's inevitable. Yeah.
Well, again, there's a difference between people lying and sneaking in versus holding your arms wide open and giving them hugs and kisses.
Come
when
on,
they
come
come
on.
in. Fucking
Yeah.
weirdo.
That's a good point. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I think through or I don't think through when I say, and then I think about it a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cringe. So
Yeah, when you say it that way, it makes sense.
I think I did something like that with a chick when I was in the dating world many moons
Okay.
ago. Not the 13-year-old part. I was going back to your conversation
Oh, okay.
where you're like, what if it's a professor?
Uh-huh.
And it was something like I was trying to get nudes out of her, and she was calling me a perv or something, and it was not going my way at all. Like like she started roasting and shit, and then I'm like,
Fuck it.
I'm actually an undercover cop, and I'm trying to figure some mystery out or some shit, and the chick's like, you're an undercover cop, and you're asking girls for naked pictures,
Yes.
and I'm like,
Cops are people, too.
oh boy, I'm not doing good at all. I just panicked and I was like, actually, it was like when I was in first grade. I'm a spy for the U.S.
Yeah.
government. And
True.
I was seeing if you were stupid enough to fall for it. Yeah, not my proudest moments.
Yeah, that might be tough to weasel out of.
No, I had some weird requests from people for naughty things that they wanted videos of that I obliged to. Like one time I stuck a...
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like there's this girl and she's like, can I call you daddy? And I'm like, no.
Friends exclusive. That's it.
The only person that can call me daddy is my male friends.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. I'm not into this daddy stuff.
Yeah,
Not
which is
in-
why when I hear you say it, I kind of like, I've gotten a little bit more used to it now. But when I first, heard you saying it, I'm like, uh-oh.
Well, that's
Did I
the
just hear,
point.
Yeah. Like
That's
my
the
buddy.
point. I don't
buddy would
seriously
say it.
get a kink out of it.
But then there's another guy in like I had a speech class, and I heard him say it too. He set it up in front of the whole class in one of his presentations. I'm like, okay, that was nice.
Yeah, that was an interesting story, Bert.
Yeah. There's just weirdos everywhere.
When I did my speech classes, I really enjoyed it, and the teacher was one of the biggest cunts I've ever met in my life. But outside of Bert, and
Okay.
I just remember there was some guy that just stopped talking in front of all of us. I don't know if I told that story on the podcast. I'm pretty sure I've told you, but he was doing a speech about politics and the economy or some shit. I don't fucking know. Some gay snooze fest. Okay. And I hated this motherfucker. Him and I had some history where I wasn't a big fan of this feller.
You guys were beefing.
And he didn't want to beef, but I definitely didn't like him. And I just remember glaring at him. I was giving him the daddy eyes. I guess that sounds weird based off of what we were just talking about. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And he just stopped talking and started like going.
You're force choking him. He
He
couldn't handle it.
Yeah, he just sees me squinting.
Yeah.
Vein coming out of my forehead.
Yeah.
Boner.
What the fuck?
So he just stopped talking. It was really weird. When I did public speaking, one thing that I was really bad at is I fucking paced that stage left and right.
Really?
Literally, you could probably see skid marks in my pants and on the floor of just walking 5 feet, turning sharp, walking 5 feet, turning sharp.
Yeah.
I did not stand still. I mean, there is like where you stand there and you talk and you just casually walk to the right, casually walk to the left, and things like that. No, my ass was hauling. Like it was back and forth, like those Newton's cradle balls that you see.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, it was insane. I should have just bent over and touched the floor like I had to touch the ground or something, like a football workout, and then run to the other side and touch the floor. And
yeah.
Yeah, that was bad for me. I fixed that a lot.
Yeah, that's important to work out.
Yeah, it's just because they said the professor told me I had jitters, and that's one way to get your jitters out is through excess moving like that, where you have all that pent up energy.
Oh, I see. Versus like not twitching, but yeah, just totally losing full motor control.
Twitching, like where my chin will just start turning to the side, like in 1954. Fucking weirdo. Twitching.
Oh, thanks. I originally didn't like the eye contact when I didn't know the people, but then once I kind of got used to hearing all the presentations and towards the end I got more used to it, but that's what I didn't like.
It just felt really forced to me.
Yeah. I mean, the whole class, that's like the point, but
it just felt forced to where my professor's like, no, look at the audience members, make them feel heard. I'm like, fuck you guys listen to me. This is my speech, bitch.
Exactly.
My speech. I remember I had to do some speech about something, and I chose to talk about Kellen Kapowski kneeling during the national anthem.
Yep.
You're just going to roll with it?
I don't know who that is.
Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, you said like Ellen Kapowski.
Kellen Kapowski's how Doug said it on Who's Right.
Holy shit.
He's like that one guy, Kellen Kapowski or whatever his name was.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Doug's gay. Anyways.
Sounds like Doug.
It sounds like Doug.
Fucking dank.
I did one on Colin Kaepernick, and my whole point of the speech was instead of us arguing whether or not he should or shouldn't kneel during the national anthem, the point should be we should listen to why he's doing it in the first place. Obviously, there's a reason behind it, and we should listen to the message from there. And
right.
The point of the speech was the audience got to ask you questions about your topic. And I had 3 people ask me questions, and I'm pretty sure most of the questions or every single one of them revolved around, what do you think he should do? Should he kneel or should he not kneel? Which one is right? And I just kept redirecting it, saying it's not about if we should or shouldn't do this. It's he's trying to send a message. Whether or not he's doing it in the most moral way is not important right now. We should listen to hear what he has to say. And then the next person would ask a question similar to that, and then I would say something super similar to that. And I got docked points because I kept answering questions the same way. And I'm like, bitch, they kept asking the same questions. If somebody says, what's your favorite color? And I say red, and the next person says, what is it? And I say red. The professor's like, you're kind of gay. You keep saying red.
Yeah. Like, listen, bitch, maybe you need to listen too.
Maybe, yeah, you're not fucking paying attention here. So I got dock points for that.
What a shithead.
Yeah, because I kept answering the same question, and they were like, I get what the message is. Like, I get what you're saying, but I want to know what you would think here. And I'm like, this is pretty much as random of a question as if I have a fucking fat or small cock or not. My point isn't about this. It's about something else. So, yeah, and just like I said, the professor was such an asshole.
Nice.
She wasn't very cool. So, yeah, we'll see.
That's always my favorite.
Yeah. They would be like, what would you do to improve this class at the end of it? And I'm like, get rid of this professor.
Fire this bitch.
Literally, I said, you need to get rid of this lady.
Yeah.
If this
it's
class
probably
stands
going
a
back
chance.
to her. She's like, oh, that's going in the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do that in high school when the teacher would call home and snitch on me and my parents, but my parents wouldn't answer because they were too busy fucking out in a barn or something. So I'd go in and I'd listen to the voicemail, and the fucking teacher is just ratting on me, dude. I mean, he's just giving my parents the news, and I just hit delete.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't need to hear this. It's just like, Burger called another student grandpa.
Holy.
And I'm like,
sticking ass.
And I'm like, yeah, you're lucky I didn't call her a fat fucking cunt.
Yeah.
That's like those WTF fun facts that I post on iFunny. Like, my favorite one is where an inmate in a court called a judge a cunt. He's like, you're being a cunt right now, judge. And the judge goes, well, you're being a bit of a cunt yourself.
That is awesome. I think when that word comes out in public, it's probably no holds barred.
Well, it's also different in every country, too. Like,
oh, true.
The word cunt is like one of the most offensive words in all of America.
Gay. It's
literally like one of the most offensive. And then in like Australia, they use it like every other word and don't even think twice about it.
Uh-huh.
I remember when I was in college, some dude's like, yeah, my mom fucking hates the word cunt. I mean, she fucking hates cunt.
Yeah. Yeah. She hears it a lot, too. He's always mad.
Yeah, it's just like, it's one of those words you hate because you hear it all the time. Honestly, the only word, I don't think there's honestly a word that I don't like. I don't like being called certain things.
Uh-huh.
Like,
yeah, there's definitely
small wiener and shit, but
yeah. Wasn't it buddy or something like that, pal?
Yeah, buddy bothered me for a while, but I don't really give a shit no more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but I don't know. It's not like if anybody used the word buddy in a sentence and I'd get pissed at it. Like, some buddy once told me the world was going to roll me, and I'm like, oh, God damn it, fuck you, Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
Like, no, I was never that way. I think there's definitely words you should and shouldn't say, but for people to be like, oh, don't you say that word. I don't know. It's just
kind of weird.
It's just besides buddy. You know, the big one, of course.
The big ones.
The big one, I mean.
Yeah, that one's not good.
That one's bad, but still, though, like, it's like we said with Joey. It's about the meaning behind it, so. I don't know. People are just pussies.
That is true.
That's another one people don't like is pussy.
Yeah.
Swear words are getting more and more mainstream, I've noticed. Words like ass and damn and hell and piss, like you're pissing me off, or like I'm starting to hear more and more.
Yeah.
Like,
now we have new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember hearing shit in Marvel. I'm like, dang.
Well, Marvel's PG-13. They can swear all they want for the most part. They can't be like, you fucking cocksuckers. Like,
yeah.
They can't say that, but they can they can swear a lot within reason, of course. So I'm not saying in Marvel. I'm literally saying on the news or Good Morning America or Survivor. They say the word retarded so many times. And Survivor, the girl's like, what the hell? I'm not retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah, or one of the girls is like, Jeff, it's literally just retarded. I feel like that word was used a lot back in the day, and then there got some woke people trying to say you shouldn't say that word and everything. And
yeah. That one's not too bad, in my opinion.
It's just a word in and of itself.
I know.
Take the meaning out of it, like it just sounds funny. Just retarded.
I think that's like the science behind it is like it's a harsh sounding word or something. I don't even remember.
I don't know. It doesn't sound very harsh to me. It sounds
retarded.
like very like ooga boogla-y. Like it's just like a goofy sounding word.
It is kinda, yeah.
Now if they called someone a fucking crippled or something like that.
Yeah. See, that doesn't even like have any silliness to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just chuckled because I'm like, I don't think I've heard that before.
Fucking crippled?
Yeah. Not like that, other than that's like one you throw out when you're actually pissed off at a crippled person. So that one, like, how do you make that not poorly?
It's like PewDiePie when he said the N-word because he was so mad and he just wanted to let out his frustrations in one word, and that's the only one he could think of.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like my brother when I sent you that video where he got water sprinkled on him and he's like, "You fat fucking piece of shit," to my sister.
He's so pissed.
He was so pissed because she sprayed a little water on him. Just calling her all these things that have nothing to do with the action. Your mom is such a fucking slut.
Yeah.
What?
It's like, wow, okay.
I know, but what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's that have to do with anything?
Yeah, you start crying. What the hell?
Don't make fun of my mom. She didn't do nothing. What else you got, Bert?
Oh, actually, speaking of Survivor, I've been, I moved back to season 9, and this one, it's like Vanuatu Islands or something. It's like an old volcano.
It's Land of the Fire or some shit like that.
Yeah. It's crazy. And they're mid-interview, and then there's the fucking earthquake or fire, whatever, some shit's erupting. It's crazy.
A volcano, yeah.
And they have these, like, I was going to say crazy, but that sounds bad. So they have these tribes people.
We literally just went through and said all of these offensive words, and you're like, crazy, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. These, the natives to Vanuatu or whatever are very cannibal holocausty.
Yeah.
And they're like...
now I see where the racism's coming into play here.
Yeah, so Jeff, it's like the very start, like the first episode or whatever, Jeff gets them all on boats. He drives them out to the island, and they have a big feast, and they bring a fucking pig out. And half the people are like, what the fuck? That pig's still alive. What the hell's going on? And they bring out this big old hammer, and they just fucking hit that piggy right in the head. And it's just like...
They fucking hit that piggy right in the head, Bert says.
Right in the head. They really give him the beans. It's kind of fucked up. And then they just, whatever. So they sacrifice him, is pretty much what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Throwing him up on a stake and cooking him up to eat him. And there's just some weird shit. And, like, right when they get on the island, I'm a dink. I'm a retard.
Yeah.
When they land, all the tribes people, like, just run right up to them. And they have spears. Like, they're war spears and shit.
Yeah, and they were screaming and shit like that. Yeah,
they're screaming, doing crazy shit. They're, like, poking the spear in between them and pushing them to one side and the other. Separating the dudes and the chicks. And it's like, all right, this is getting a little weird. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, what's stopping them from actually just killing all of them?
Yeah. Did you come up with an answer?
Nope.
So, a couple of things. There's an entire American film crew with like 20 cameras recording every single second of it. If
True.
they did just start killing random American civilians, I guarantee they could just go back and be like, hey, Mr. Bush, President of the United States, these guys, we went to their government.
Suckers.
They told us that we could record a season of Survivor on here, and then they lied to us and started killing all of our people. And then Mr. Bush will proceed to lift his finger and press the nuke button on that fucking tiny island.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's like with me and you hanging out. Like, what's stopping me from bashing your fucking skull in? Like, what a stupid question.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just so weird. Because it's like, I doubt they value money. Like, they don't give a shit. Like, Jeff just pulls out 100. They're like, okay, what the fuck do I do with this?
You piece of shit. It's not like just an island full of these tribes. It's an entire fucking civilization and shit like that.
Well, this one, they specifically said there's over like 100 different tribes.
Exactly. So it's not just a bunch of fucking cavemen walking around the island. There's civilization and governments and shit to it as well. And I'm sure there's a governing body of that island anyways.
Probably.
So you said it's like off. I don't even know where Vanuatu is. Vanuatu,
I thought it was
is a country in Oceania. It's a South Pacific Oceania nation made up of roughly 80 islands. So it's a country in Oceania, whatever the fuck Oceania is.
I think it's over by Australia and all that.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Oceania is a part of the Australian government then?
Probs?
So let's just say it is. Whatever it is, Vanuatu is under the Australian government. For the sake of argument, I don't know how factual this is. But they literally just go to Australia, and then Australia goes and probably talks to them, and they work shit out. It's not like they just pull up in helicopters.
Oh, they have a port, too. Yeah, that's probably... Yeah. Yeah, okay, it's probably somewhat civilized. I guess I haven't seen any of that
Somewhat civilized. They had an entire season of Survivor on it. It's extremely civilized. Gosh, you're being so fucking white, straight male right now.
What?
Gosh. You're like, oh, island people, they must kill people when they see them on sight and rape them. Fucking weirdo.
I mean, not necessarily.
That's what you're acting like right now. Like, I guess there's some civilization to these people. What the fuck?
No, not to the people.
Oh, then what? To the fucking trees then? What else could be what else could be fucking civilized out of that?
Like the country is like developed, I guess is what would be.
Of the people though.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, they just whip up on some random fucking island.
This is nice.
Where money doesn't mean anything to them.
Yes. The tribe definitely I don't think would care about it, but maybe. Maybe. See, and then another part of me, this might sound...
Wasn't that the one where it was like they had some guy crawl up some pole to get something on top of it?
Yeah. It was like they put pig fat on a pole and had him climb up to the top to get a stone of good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, there was something on top of it, and they're like...
Spirit stone.
Yeah, and they're like, this thing kind of gay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, Jeff's like, all right, this team, you get the Spirit Stone for good luck. They're like, all right.
That's cool. It? Does this give me immunity? No, it's for good luck.
It's for good luck, dumbass. Didn't you hear me?
Okay. You're like my tattoo artist that says I need crystals in order to be married to my wife. Gotcha. Uh-huh. Cool.
Yeah.
We're doing this right now. Gotcha.
Sweet.
They've done stuff like that. I think they've gotten more religion respectful, I guess, I don't know.
I know what you're saying. Well, yeah.
In season 15, when they go to China, they literally have the tribes go into a room with other Chinese natives and start bowing down to statues and shit like that.
Oh,
and
I see.
Jeff says, just so you know, this is like a custom here in China. There's no real religious thing behind it when they're doing this. Because, it's real popular in Asia to bow and things like that. It's custom, like it is to shake hands here. So he says this is not a form of worship. This is a form of welcoming you into the country and wishing you the best of luck going forward. And some Christian radio host lady had to stop doing it and walk out of there. And she's like, I know he said it wasn't worship, but the only person that I bow down to is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And everyone's like, holy fuck.
Chill.
Even Jeff called her out. He's like, I flat out fucking told, because Jeff is super.
I love when he stands
he's
in.
super sensitive about this culture shit. He is very respectful of the natives' culture and shit.
I know. Yeah, it's awesome.
And he's like, I flat out fucking told you it's not worship. And she's like, well, it felt like it. Okay, well, at that point, you gotta check yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of like your
If you can get wavered that easily, babe.
You're weak.
Yeah, I get it. I think it would be weird. It would be awkward. But at the same time, I would keep telling myself, I'm not bowing down to this gay-ass gold statue here. Fuck that statue.
Yeah.
Some
like
old,
he said, yeah.
Old man made, in the 40s.
Yeah. Entering.
Well, it's just
for
something. Us, shaking hands doesn't mean anything. But say in China, shaking hands, you only shake God's hand or something. So they don't shake hands there. Well, we don't bow here. Bowing is more of a religious thing besides at the end of a concert or something. But
yeah.
So it's just again, it goes back behind the intent behind it. What, you think I'm going to bend over and tie my shoes and you're acting like I'm bowing to the fucking sink in front of me, you fucking weirdo? What the hell?
Yeah, chill.
Yeah, calm the fuck down. So, yeah. This was a little bit tough because they're bowing down and then raising their hands up in the air and acting. It'd be weird, but I was glad that Jeff was just so you know, this is not a form of worship. I'm like, okay, good. Then I would have been okay after that. I could have done all the bowing and all of that weird shit, and I would have been like, I'm just going to go through the motions here until we get out of here.
Yeah, it's really all they want anyways.
Yeah, no, it's just for the film and shit like that. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's been all right. I think the new season of Viver starts up in September.
Okay.
A couple of months
Coming
from
up.
now. Yeah, just not looking forward to it at all, so...
Right. Know the exact day it comes out and everything.
But still, I'm just not excited. I don't like the new
It's just
school at all. It's so different.
The direction's kind of weird that they've taken it. Even just these old seasons are great. People are thinking about the game still, right? But they're not sweating and being annoying with the game. I don't know. In season 9, I don't know. It's kind of nice. They're just barely aware that they're playing a game and all this stuff, but they're not I don't know how to explain it. The newer seasons, it's it's too much.
Well, it's a lot of fourth wall breaking is what you're saying,
There's
basically.
a lot. Yeah.
And that's why I didn't like the live reunion shows at the end, is because that's all it was, is fourth wall breaking. So there's an extent to it, and now that they officially got rid of the live reunion shows, I'm gonna miss them. They're completely done with those for the new seasons. So, at least for the time being, I guess, until they find out that they're being racist. If they don't, then they'll change it up, I'm sure.
Right.
But yeah, still just grinding through it. I gotta resubmit another audition tape. Jeff has yet to call, so.
Yes.
It's
gotta throw it into whatever the fuck his name is.
I gotta send it over to Coach so he can send it to Jeff. Here's the thing: like, I'm gonna be completely honest with the people of B&B here. Do I think I could play this game? Absolutely, I do. Do I think I could do well in this game? Absolutely, I do. Do I think I could win Survivor? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's a day by day thing, right? Like once you start figuring it out and you get more comfortable, but I can do the social part. I'm going to be real shy and awkward for the first few hours, but I think I'll get comfortable with it right away.
Right.
And then I'm fine not eating. I mean, I can do that. The eating part does not bother me. I know it's going to suck and I'm going to be shaky and I'm not going to say, oh, it's going to be easy and I'm going to have fun. No, I'm sure I'll be miserable, but I'm not going to like start freaking out and crying because I'm not eating.
Yeah.
The hardest thing I'm going to have a hard time with in this game is I feel like I could cap my emotions. And
sleeping is going to be tough.
And not freak out at people, but I feel like I could control that. Yeah, sleeping's the number one thing. I don't know how I would ever be able to sleep on that fucking island. I can't even hear a clock tick, and it keeps me up. Like, it gives me adrenaline, and it makes me fucking want to run through the wall when it's too loud. So,
yeah. I always wonder how they do that. Like, what happens when a survivor's, like, going to eat a berry or something? Like, do the cameramen just have to watch it? Or they're like, yeah, if you eat that, you're going to die. I'm sure there's kind of, like, some...
I mean, apparently I've seen some behind-the-scenes articles that I don't really trust too much, but...
Right.
Anytime you find something, you have to have somebody inspect it to make sure that you're not eating... poison or things like that.
Yeah, I feel like that, like they'd have survival people or something, somebody there, or even like a course or something. Like when you first get there, like, hey, this is shit to stay away
No, they don't
from.
really have a course. I know they give you material to read and things like that, but no, they're not going to fucking have their entire integrity and company rely on lawsuits just because they taught you a 101 course, you fucking jackass.
But just dropping you off in the jungle.
They don't drop you off. There's literally 50 fucking people there watching your every move and shit like that. So no, they're going to see you walk up to a bush and they're going to be like, hey, let me see that.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, oh, you're in the hospital shitting your brains out on the verge of dying, and you're like, oh, you should have fucking listened to Mrs. Smith's class before you came here because we said don't eat these kind of berries.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Never know.
No, I do know. They would not fucking let their entire show fucking fall on the backs of some 90-year-old teacher teaching you what berries to eat and not eat.
True, they have made it pretty far.
42 seasons and 22 years. Yeah, no, they got their shit figured out. Also, I mean, it's literally like, where they get water is literally like a 50-gallon plastic barrel now.
Yeah,
like in 42 or something like that, you'll see them standing around like this fenced area where it looks like there's a well in it or something, where they get water. Mm-hmm. No, it's literally just a fucking barrel full of water. And they hide the barrel so it doesn't look like it lit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it literally looks like a plastic fucking...
It looks like a well, yeah. There's like a little cap on it, and you take it off and fill up your containers or whatever.
Well, no, for 42, there's a square wall of like bamboo where they're like getting spoons of water out of it. That's all you see. But if the camera were to look down, you would see a fucking... inside of it, which is like a 50-gallon garbage barrel with water in it. That's all it is. There's no well to have to it, but they want to give you the idea of it's like that. So there's things that they flat out fucking give you so you don't die.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, we need to go get water. Yeah. Where in this one, they're just fucking like drinking out of streams and shit.
Yeah,
like,
no, the earlier seasons, I know they definitely have locations where they got to find the water and everything like that.
Yeah,
so.
I think they say like this is a safe spot. Or they actually have water, like, yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, they definitely help you out with that. But I mean, I've seen pictures where it's real eye-opening, where you see two Survivor contestants talking to one another, and around them is like 3 cameras and 2 boom mics with these like 5 guys that are completely clean and neat shaven and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Well, it's just these 2 fucking skinny girls that are absolutely disgusting looking.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be tough to somehow not get the other other staff and stuff in the shots.
Well, they have hundreds of hours of footage recorded, I'm guessing. And so they just watch every bit of it, and depending on the situation, they will like flash a little bit of stuff, like if a fucking person blacks out and the cameras are running to it or something. But you gotta remember, these people probably went and did a lot of schooling and did a lot of projects before this, so they know how to be professionally record things and get out of people's ways and things like that. Because you got to remember, if one guy is recording and he sees the other guy in his camera, there's a good chance the other guy sees him in his camera as well. So both of them are basically recording garbage, but you can both be recording the same thing and not get the other person in the camera. I gotcha. So
yeah,
I'm sure it does happen, but
yeah, they do pretty good with it though. Yeah, it's almost like they have millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's almost like the best fucking reality show for the past 20 years is hundreds of millions of dollars they generate every time as professionals. You fucking idiot. You're saying some doozies tonight, that's for certain.
Pretty dialed in. That's good.
So, and another thing that I think I would have a hard time with is, I'm getting more accepting of it, but just feeling dirty and gross. I know you can go in the ocean and clean up,
but still, the ocean's gonna be all salty. You know, you got fucking salt in your pee hole, and you're just like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
So that would probably be it. But other than that, I don't have any issues with the eating part. I don't have any issues with the people. I'm sure people will piss me off, but I feel like I'd have a pretty good head on my shoulders on staying calm throughout it. But again, this is all easier said than done. When you get on that show and hours into it and you're hot and hungry, I mean, you can start losing your patience pretty fucking quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see it, definitely.
I saw a question that was interesting, and it's not just for Survivor, but any game show in general. Would you rather be on the show 3 different times or be on the show once but win it?
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
So this is literally
like
being
be famous.
We're talking about Brian from season 5, the winner, versus Coach, who has yet to win a season but is a very iconic name, versus a one-time winner and never comes on the show ever again.
I think probably the one-time winner.
No, I don't think so. I think I'd rather be in Coach's shoes than the one-time winner.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if you enjoy it a lot. Which it sounds
like... why else would you go on it 3 separate fucking times?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't know if I...
Why would you even audition for it if you didn't really enjoy it that much?
Well, no, it's like you go on with thoughts on how it is, and then you're like, wow, this is way tougher, or you're a weak little pussy and you can't handle it.
Then you probably wouldn't have won.
No, I'm saying that would be me. I would be a giant. So
no, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about which one you would rather choose. The options are there. You're not morphing your personality with the options. You are just taking them as they are. Be on the show one time and win.
Well, I could never win $1 million, so that I'm not saying that.
Well, I would never win, and they would never want me back. So this question doesn't work with me. Okay.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. No. No, I'm just saying. Well, because you're asking me, so my answer would probably be the one time. Just because of all the fucking dog shit that would come with being on 3 separate times.
What dog shit would be?
Yeah, the whole being dirty thing, I'm not like a huge fan of that. And I don't know, I do kind of like the whole camping and making shelters and shit. I used to do that a lot with one of my buddies when I was a kid, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, 6-year-old Bert making a fucking shelter that took fucking 2 minutes with his fucking gay friends versus being on a reality show for 39 days doesn't really translate too much.
Right.
But like I said, it doesn't have to be Survivor in general. I said it could be any show.
Oh, I missed that part.
No, I said that at the very beginning. I said it could be Survivor, or just would you rather go on a show and win it once or go on it 3 separate times?
If the prize is always $1 million, I'd probably always want to win it.
Even though the 3 separate times could make you amass more than $1 million, depending on the opportunities that come after it.
He's got a porch. He's got glass. That's nice.
Yeah, so do people in fucking Memphis when I went there, and they were all boarded up and shit.
Yeah, he had nice trim, though. He had nice trim. Oh, you can also see in the reflection sometimes.
Oh, my God. Shut the fuck up. You did not see his fucking house. You saw less than 1% of his house, and you're like, whole thing's good.
No, there was like a hill out in front of his house. It was nice.
No, yeah, incorrect. Yeah. Anyways,
were you not watching?
I think I would do the 3 separate times well over the one and done
I would assume
kind
that,
of thing.
Yeah.
It's just the more correct answer objectively.
I don't know. I feel like you'd still get the experience. I think my most important thing from playing Survivor would be the experience.
No shit.
And the money. Money would be nice.
Yeah, but also at the same time, if you're like, oh, I don't like getting dirty, well, you would have never have applied to be on it in the first place then. So that's why you just have to look at it from a different perspective.
$1 million is like a lot of money. You could potentially make more if you were famous and you actually capitalized on it, but I'm not like a big entrepreneur. I'm kind of lazy. There's definitely ways to get it.
Yeah, I think it's more about looking at the opportunity as a whole rather than bringing in extra variables about it.
I mean,
it's just like on the show, $1 million, or on the show with that experience times 3 is kind of how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I feel like you'd kind of get
rather than like, I don't really know how to handle my finances very well, and I'm from a state that takes a lot of taxes out of their paychecks. Yeah. So if you include that, plus my dog has a vet bill that's coming up that's super expensive, that wasn't what the fucking question was. It was 1-time winner or 3-time returnee. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Not, I don't like to get dirty, or I would have gotten the experience 1 time kind of thing.
Those are kind of the fine details. The large details was, I think playing it 1 time would be more than enough for me.
Yeah, that's what you should have said. Versus, I don't know if I could have managed my finances once.
Assume that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, you do that a lot where you're like, what's my favorite color? And we say blue. And you're like, actually, I was hoping you would assume that I was blue. But then one time I wore these socks that were green, so therefore it was purple. So I was hoping all of that information you would have just assumed and gotten right.
Right.
So, yeah, it was actually a really good question, but glad you fucking ruined it like all your friends do when we ask them questions like that. Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm thinking through it in the moment. When you ask me a question, I'm not autistic, and I don't think of every situation, every question ever.
You just did. You just thought of like every variable to that question ever.
Well, yeah, because I need to make the right decision.
You just said you're not doing that, and then I said you just did, and then you said, well, yeah.
Well, no, I mean to everything. Like to any given question, I have to think these things through before I can give you an answer.
You just said you don't do that, though. You said you can't think of every situation.
No.
I said you just did think of every situation.
Like that question you asked me. Like if it was a different question, like how much shit can you fit in your mouth? I'm like, well, my one cheek can fit like half of a Big Mac. And if you turn that into a log of shit, I could probably fit about 2 logs of shit in my mouth. See, so I had to think it through. Like I don't just have the answer. Like you asked me how many logs? 2. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying you're kind of the two logs kind of guy. I'm like,
no,
I kinda
you're
gotta
the
think
type
about
of
it.
person, like if I asked you that question, you would have been like, well, let's see, an average Big Mac is built like this. But if you take the average American who usually makes their Big Macs a little bit bigger, so does it matter what country this Big Mac's coming from? Because then it's different. Because right here, here's the facts. People on India, McDonald's workers from India tend to serve less. So I think I could do 2 India burgers, but 1 American burger. I was like, okay, well,
variables are different than questions.
yeah, okay, you're bringing in things that are really fucking fine-tuned.
I think if anything, that gives you more information.
Yeah, it was a silly little question about how much shit you can fit in your mouth. Holy fuck, you don't have to look at it fucking like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
But I like to be thorough.
Yeah, nobody fucking likes it when anybody does that. And
Well, people who don't
also,
like
you
that
told
can
me that
suck
you
my dick
don't
and
like to
balls.
be thorough, and then you go off and be thorough.
No, that's not what I said.
Yeah, you did. You said something along
This
the
is
lines. You're like, I can't think of
misinterpreting it.
every single thing, which would mean
I
not
can think
thorough.
Of everything. No. You're not. You're misinterpreting my thing because I'm not saying it properly.
So yeah, I would do the 3 times.
Asked.
You did.
Oh.
You did. That's the point.
Kinda,
Ed.
yeah,
What
I
would you
did.
do out of those 2?
Yeah.
So yes, nice try.
So why would
trying
you,
to
Burger?
be cringe.
Why would you, Burger?
I think I could. If you're on there 3 times, that means people really like you. And I like that idea. And
But what if they don't like you? You're adding in extra things, Burger.
well, why would they ask you to be on 3 times?
Because you're a good contestant,
So they like
or
you
maybe because you're a villain.
because they like you. You make good TV.
I think there's a difference between the cast liking, or not the cast,
Yeah, I could give a shit
viewers
less what the
liking you?
cast thinks.
and the no. I mean the CBS. CBS likes you versus.
CBS likes
I mean,
you
just 'cause
because
you
you're
get-
making them money.
Yeah, but you could be like that one crazy lady with the big hair and the fucking. I don't even know what I'm saying. Off of, I don't know. Your favorite guy, what's your favorite Survivor contestant?
Jeff Probst, coach Sidney Siegel.
Okay. The fuck is his name? Oil Tycoon? Russell. There it is. I got him. On Russell's season, there was some crazy bitch. So, like, they might have her back because she was kind of a train wreck, and everybody's like, haha, funny, like with the train wreck.
People love Shambo.
There it is, Shambo. Yeah, but she's a bit of a nutcase.
So people loved her still. She's
I
very
did
popular
like
and made a
Shambo
lot
as
of
well.
good TV.
She was good. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly. So people liked her.
Sure.
But also, I think it takes a lot more to be asked to come on the show rather than just being popular. I think it's actually got to be like good quality Survivor content.
Right. Yeah, because if you go on there, kind of like Sydney was saying, like she swears a lot or something, so a lot of her stuff got cut out. Or like I know a lot of coaches' stuff got cut out too. He was talking about, but
Yeah, where he gave his food to people and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, but it's like different. It's just like, I am trying to think of somebody. People probably like the fucking little white guy that got voted out first in 42 that Marianne had a crush on. People probably liked him. There was no reason to not like him really, but they're not going to just bring him back because of that. They're looking for these big personalities or people that really change the game and things like that.
Right. Yeah.
Versus like,
Good for
oh,
the
people
show.
like you.
Congrats. Yeah.
It's just, but like, and Shambo's like a good, I don't know if Shambo comes back, but I don't think she does. But she's like a good example where a lot of people like her and she's really popular on the show. But what does she offer to Survivor as a whole to where people would want you back versus the other 400 or 500 contestants before and after her kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, was her personality really that off the charts to where she was good enough to come back?
Right.
Probably not.
Probably not. I could see it also being like if people are like, we want fucking Shambo back, please.
Well, then
like,
if people
right,
were
good perception,
really
good perception.
lobbying for her, I think then she would have a bigger personality than what she had on there.
Right. I'm just thinking in general, like if the people want to see it, it's like, oh, good reviews.
Well, exactly. Well, and it's just that many people would like her because of that. I think Shambo was a unique situation because she looked different, she sounded different, she had a different name and everything like that. Like it was a combination of different versus people liked her on Survivor. Period. The end.
Right.
That's the thing with Russell. Is like there's nothing too different about Russell as a human being, but he was a fucking hell of a Survivor contestant. With
it was nuts.
The way he played the game and how smart he was with the game and how he found the immunity idols without any clues and how he was good in challenges and things like that. And he was entertaining to watch. Like all of that merits a callback. Same thing with Coach. Like Coach has a very unique personality, a very fun personality, and everything like that. Shambo was just a crazy lady that people liked.
Yeah, it's so funny too. Like in Coach's season, even Jeff like gets after me. He's like, "You got to be bullshitting me, Coach." It's awesome.
Coach, come on.
Come on. Did you really do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
He talks about
In season 17, there's a guy named Randy that was such an asshole, and he was so rude to people. Like this girl is crying at a challenge, and he goes, wah, wah.
Okay.
Randy was a literal fucking asshole. Then there was a girl named Corinne that said something. So there's a girl named Sugar that was on the show, and her dad died. So Sugar cried a lot, and Sugar made it to the final 3. And Corinne says, Sugar, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but she's like, Sugar, I fucking hated you. You're literally just a leech on society. The only thing I would ever give you is a handful of antidepressants. So then when you did cry, it looked more sincere when you were crying about your dead dad.
Holy shit.
She literally said that.
Right for the throw.
Yeah. And they still, at the live reunion show, were not friends. And Sugar just flipped her off in front of everybody, and the cameras had to blur it out and everything.
That's awesome. Holy shit.
People were all mad about Corinne because she said something about her dead father, but I do get what she's saying. She's like, Sugar, you cry so fucking much that when you are crying about your father, it doesn't look sincere because you're constantly crying. Like,
yeah, that's cringe.
So I get what she's saying. I wouldn't have said it like that.
Yeah, it's a little rash.
Yeah, that's kind of, like you said, right through the fucking throat. But yeah. I get what she was saying, though. It's like, you cry all the time, bitch. When you're crying about your father passing, it doesn't seem legit. Like, people were even saying that to her because of what old Mr. Fairplay said. Like, your dad died. I if he really died. And Sugar's like, yes, my dad actually died.
I love how he just did that one play. My grandma died. And then it's just everybody is now like in speculation mode whenever anything like that happens. It's incredible. Johnny fucked it up.
Yeah, it was a really smart play, though. I mean,
it was incredible.
Shame on you for following anything in a game, I guess.
Yeah. What a guy.
Yeah.
Really Better Call Saul.
Yeah, literally. It was Better Call Saul.
Slippin' Jimmy.
Yeah, Slippin' Johnny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, still got to finish that show, too. Like halfway through the final episode.
Oh, my God. I've been waiting. Final episode was the best episode.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
There's 5 seasons, and there's a lot of very good episodes, so...
Okay, yeah, that's true. I wouldn't say that. Okay.
Yeah. No, I just haven't finished. At this point, I should have it done, but I just keep getting up into other things. Fantasy football season's coming up, and I've been watching some stuff
know.
with that. So,
yeah, that's gonna be pretty hype this season.
yeah, I'm excited for it. We have our fantasy draft in about 40 days. So it's coming up, so we can't wait to tell you guys about our fantasy draft as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, even just like the little drafts that you've been doing and the couple of drafts you've had me do, it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, the
all
mock
way
drafts.
down. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good players out there. Maybe it's just because I know most of their names now, and I'm like, shit, okay. I know some
there's a
potential
lot
for
of
everybody.
depth, I will say. There's more depth at the running back position than I think there has been since we started playing. I would say wide receivers are more thin. There's like the 10 at the top, but then it starts to thin out pretty quickly. As far as guaranteed success, I should say. And I think there's a lot of good tight ends out there that you could get comfortably. So, unless you're trying to get Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce, you probably really don't have to reach for a TE
right
too deeply in this year's draft, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's good. I know I've reached, I think, every fucking year.
For a
And I'm
tight end.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, like when you took Kelce at 5th overall and then finished like dead
Yeah,
last.
I think I'm gonna have to try. I'm gonna try and mix my strategy up. And even last year, I got Mark Andrews really early. I think it's like 3rd round. I usually switch it up.
Well, Mark Andrews is 100% a flaw and not normal. He has not replaced Kelce by any means as the best fantasy tight end. It's just because of...
Right. He had a fluke, a couple good games.
And it's because all of his running backs were hurt, so they had no choice but to throw the ball more. So nobody can predict that kind of shit.
Right.
So I don't anticipate him doing what he did last year. But we'll see. He easily could. I wouldn't be surprised, I guess. He's got a high ceiling because of his situation, but he doesn't have it because he's a good tight end. I think you could put any tight end in his situation, any good tight end, I should say, and they will be just as successful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Nah, I mean, it's like when that's your only option, you know? You see it and
While
everywhere.
Kyle Pitts and Travis Kelce and Darren Waller, those kind of guys are actually in, like, they're good tight ends for fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. What you got to do, though, is, I mean, you got to do kind of what I was doing, where you print off the pictures or you look at the pictures on the top 300, those charts I give out every year, and take out all the keepers and then figure out who's supposed to be roughly where you are. So then you can have a good cognitive cue in your head on who roughly you could go at that position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think that's a good idea.
Especially because you have 9, so, I mean, you're getting 2 back-to-back players, essentially.
Yeah, like I could even... I was going to say reach, but that's not quite it. I don't know.
Definitely not reaching the first round. I mean, you definitely want to take the best player available there, but like you're keeping Henry, so it's just like, do you go and get the RB2 done and over with, and then you don't have to worry about running backs the rest of the draft? Or do you grab an amazing wide receiver that's there? So now you have a great RB1 and a great RB or wide receiver 1. And then your second pick, you can choose if you want a running back or a wide receiver there.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of the nice thing I like a lot about picking back to back, because you can kind of, I don't know, I look at it as you can kind of get like you can kind of maybe get something early, or maybe you're almost forced to get something early. Like whenever it's time to get quarterbacks, like you got to be thinking ahead. Like if I don't get one now, there's going to be like 17 picks, and then it's my turn again. So
Well, it's the same thing like with Madden Fantasy Draft. It's just like I don't want to get Derek Carr right now. There's literally like 95s out there that I would rather have. However, I know quarterbacks are such a hot commodity, and it's literally going to be like 50 picks before I get to pick again. So might as well reach a little bit right here so that I can still get that good individual.
right, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I know my first year I was like fucking playing video games and I had all my players queued up, and then the next year I kind of was fucking around third, fourth, whatever. And now I'm
taking tight ends 5th overall, and you're like, well, that's the position I had the hardest time with, so I figured I'd get it now.
5th overall.
Yeah, you took Travis Kelce at 5th overall.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That's what you said. You're like, it's the hardest position that I had filling, so I just figured I'd cap it now.
Huh.
Yeah, that was a baby Bert.
Yeah, that's kind of retarded.
Huh. Tried telling you that.
All right. See, like, and then when I think back to those times, like, I can imagine the draft board out on, like, on Tater's pool table, whatever the fuck it was on. And it was just a shitter. Like, the whole lineup was gay.
Yeah, you had so many amazing people
good.
that you could have chose from. Instead, you fucking reached way down at the bottom of the first row and grabbed Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like, I guess it'd be a lack of perspective or just lack of information. Like, I literally didn't know. And now looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, there was probably some good shit out there. Considering I got clapped by the quote-unquote shit the whole season. So.
Yeah, and it's my favorite part when people are like, no, don't take a tight end that round. And you're like, hey, fuck you. I know what I'm doing. I know my body. I know my decisions. I know what I want.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't have a first-round pick, so I had to get my boy, Mr. Adams, as he went to my Raiders. That hurts, but at least it's like the shittiest first-round pick you can get almost. Like, there's only 2 that are shittier than it.
Right. Yeah, I don't think you're in too bad a shape.
No, I have to get an RB1 at 13 is all. I have to get one there so then I can have a RB1 and a wide receiver 1. When I was first drawing it up, I'm like, okay, I could get Kelce here because the tight end would be done in the second round, or I could possibly get a quarterback here as well and get a lot of points. Or, maybe I could have 2 great wide receivers in my burger. You're not going to be picking again until like pick 27. So,
yeah.
I remember last year I had a hard time getting a running back because of keeping Kelce. So it was tough, and I don't want to do that again. So if I can have a solid RB1, I'll be happy with that. And according to my calculations, as I draw them up on my whiteboard, and taking the information that ESPN gives us, if everything goes roughly to plan, I should be able to grab one at 13. There's some that are going to be better than others, but I should be able to get a good one, so we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. Yep, definitely gonna have to do good. Gonna have to do good this year, Burger. Gonna have to do good.
Yeah, I mean, you made it to the championship last year and absolutely got destroyed, so.
Yeah, I ran into a lot of fucking good luck in the season. And then I got a big fucking middle finger at the end.
Well, kind of. I mean, just Boo's team was incrable.
I lost a bunch of shit too.
Kind of, but you still didn't get as lucky as he did.
Yeah, it was luck versus luck, 100%.
Yeah, he got Cooper Kupp randomly shoehorned into a trade, and then Cooper Kupp averaged like 40 points a game after that. Same thing with Cordero Patterson. who was literally a nobody for many NFL seasons, and then happened to be something special this season. So, same thing with you, though, with Fournette and James Conner.
It was amazing. Yeah, just having 2 bombs.
Those guys bounced around from roster to roster so many times. I drafted both of them. And I tried to trade those 2 plus Melvin Gordon to Tater for, like, absolute ass players on his team. And I remember very clearly him saying, I do not want your garbage. He literally said that. Well, if you took my garbage, you might have made it to the playoffs because they started averaging like 20-plus points a game.
Yep. I know, it was fucking crazy. It was so dumb.
Yeah. So, we'll see what ends up happening. Fantasy football is fun, and it is coming up, but don't worry.
Right
we'll
around the
make
corner.
sure that we don't talk about it too much because we know some of our listeners are not the biggest football fans, so we'll try to keep her short as much as we can. But also at the same time, fuck you, it's our show. Lol, 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 lol.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's my fucking podcast. Daddy will do what he wants.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Lol, 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 lol. Yeah.
Yep.
So, we'll see how it goes. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to episode 131 of the Burton Burger Podcast, baby.
Hell yeah.
We appreciate you chilling and vibing with your voice here on Spotify or YouTube or wherever you are listening to it. We're just trying to bring a little bit of the family element to the podcast world. Don't you dare forget that. But also, don't you dare forget that it's just comedy at the end of the day. Calm fucking down, pussies.
Chill.
Holy
Relax.
fuck. Calm down. God damn.
Some of you guys are too high strung.
Holy shit.
Gosh.
And to the people that aren't, thank you. We appreciate it. All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you gorgeous bastards in the next episode. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Later.